No?
Okay.
It's pretty clear.
So like Grace.
Yeah.
No demo.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess let's go ahead and everybody turn your microphones on. We'll call the meeting to order. Kathy's not going to be here today. She emailed me last night. She's got something going on at work, had to be there, so you're stuck with me for today. The nice thing is it's a pretty light agenda. So, Corey, you're the first topic of business. Or you know what? Why don't, before we do that, what we were talking about off air, like I'm on the radio. I record my show just before this. While we're offline, is that we have overcommitted for this year for our budget. So we're actually in the hole. We've committed more than what we were approved appropriation from the state for our budget for this year. So we got to pay attention to that going forward. We have the option because we do have savings. We do have a balance in our savings account. So we're short about what, 60,000, something like that, 54,000. We've got some other appropriations that are out there, and we've got a meeting left this year. So to make sure that we have funds available to do grants in November, otherwise we sit here and twiddle our thumbs in November, I'm going to ask for a motion for an additional appropriation. The amount we were talking about in advance was about 200,000. That leaves us some funding available for the November meeting. If we don't spend it, we don't spend it. If we don't grant it, we don't grant it.
But we have it.
But we would have it available.
Yeah, it's there anyway.
So if I can get a motion for an additional appropriation for 200,000 for this year from someone, that would be
I'll make
great.
the motion.
Okay, so we have a
Second.
motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, Corey, now you may go to it.
Good morning.
There, when it's green. Oh, got it. Okay. Well, good morning. How's everyone today on this brisk fall morning? Well, no, it's not quite fall, but we're almost there. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity for letting me share of this funding request to support Kccrvc. As many of you may know, Kccrvc's brand is a county-wide voice created to provide resources to visitors as well as residents throughout the county. It tells a story of unity and is designed to craft a sense of place by pulling all corners of our county together, as well as encouraging individuals to participate in the story that makes Kccrvc County unique. Last fall, Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams and the Kccrvc County Convention and Visitors Bureau mutually agreed to transfer that management from Lilly Lakes and Streams to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as the trademark. So we do own that trademark. Grace kindly made that trademark change, so it's all in the CVB's name. The CVB is uniquely positioned to promote this brand with a closer connection between the CVB and the Kccrvc brand will magnify all the county has to offer to visitors and residents alike. Currently, the CVB has been managing both the Kccrvc brand as well as our current brand, which is Live Well in the Moment, which you've seen. So we've been managing two sites technically in our office for not quite a year since taking the management over. Since managing both brands, the CVB does feel both missions are very similar, and rebranding the Convention and Visitors Bureau from Live Well in the Moment to Kccrvc would greatly impact its countywide voice and reinvigorate the brand. This will still be a partnership with the four founding organizations, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams, Kccrvc County Economic Development, as well as the County Chamber. We have had conversations with them about this potential move, and they are supportive of that. Excuse me, I lost my voice. And this will also be a county brand. So since its existence, it has been an opportunity for organizations to be members for free, as well as any municipalities that want to take on that brand, pull it on their website, just a way to signify Kccrvc. Our board of directors feel that clearly Kccrvc is a much more identified brand to our Live Well in the Moment brand. which it has fit its need, but I believe most people in our county, as well as visitors, would associate that brand more with the mission that we have versus the Live Well in the Moment at this present time. So the funding request, as in the grant, is to refresh the website. So our goal is to combine those two standalone sites into one, with Visit Kosciuszko County still being its main domain, but we'll be merging those, together. When the brand identity was made, there is some font licenses that are true to the brand. We don't have those font licenses, so part of this grant is for that. It's a font Mallory that is not free, that we were unable to find free. So this would go for when we do move to, if approved today, to utilize that font on our website as well as in any movable printing, like our visitor guide for 2024. As well as our continuing updates of all our marketing materials. When we've done our membership, there's been a swag bag that we've created, which involved like pens and things I believe that the Tourism Commission has helped fund over the years. So some of those updated marketing materials to remove and replace some branding. We've always co-branded. It's just update some of those things in the office, a way to help us make sure that we're efficiently promoting the Kccrvc brand. So the support of the Tourism Commission would be greatly helping as we move forward into this brand. We're co-branding, as many of our organizations are. We just feel that we can take it to that next step, not having to co-brand between Live Well in the Moment and Kccrvc because their missions are so similar. So with that, is there any questions I can help answer through this?
Corey, I had a couple. This is what I do every day.
Yes,
the
of course.
website refreshes and this kind of things. So you mentioned the font.
Yes.
That was $1,900.
It's
Is it? I mean,
expensive.
I'm assuming you guys have thought about this some. But is there? I just quickly looked up. There are other lighter versions. Can
There
you go with
is.
the lighter version, or
So this is the plan. We thought it was best to purchase both in case we need it. So through the process, and our website developer, which is Reeser, who owns it currently, they're out of Roanoke, that does our current site, and 180 Digital is who we manage with for the Kccrvc site. They have been using, I believe, a font called Lato, which is Lato. We felt it was probably best to just own them if we need them. The problem, as you probably know, the Mallory font will not translate very well when we do, say you pull up Visit Kosciuszko County or Kccrvc, it won't, have you ever seen a different font and then it becomes a font? We're afraid that it won't translate from device to device. So we're probably going to continue to use the Lato for the website. We just felt it was best because it is part of the brand identity book. So when the designers did that, I believe it was Blue Note, that was the font. We wanted to make sure we at least owned the licensing if we needed it. So that's probably going to be the plan. We're still working that out. But the print version, we want to make sure visitor guide and any materialers moving forward, we're using that font because it is the brand identity. And I can share that with you. I'm not sure if you have all seen it, or if you have, it's been a while. We have all of that, so you're sure what we're trying to follow all the brand identity with it. But that's the plan. We felt it would be best to just own it if we needed it. We tried our best to find it for free or elsewhere, but for some reason it is not one of those easy. If you have another solution, please let us know. We're happy to know that, but that, it helps that answer that a
and then
little.
a follow up to that is like the website updates are good. If the website looks amazing, I mean that's really great. But if nobody finds it, that's a problem. And in the quote, it doesn't look like they've done any search engine optimization included in that pricing.
No, they
do
have.
You guys do that?
We do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do our best to, it's part of our marketing budget that you do provide us. We will. It's not part of this quote. This was specifically for just what that cost would be to they call it reskin, I don't like that word, refresh the site and combine them. So we do that on our end to make sure that Visit Kosciuszko County, Kccrvc, those will all be simultaneous to this one site. But we do that in our marketing with our programming, yes. Thank you.
I have a question on I think one thing that concerns me with working with websites and building them, and my experience is this quote seems really high just to refresh it.
Yes.
Do you guys get other quotes at all, or reach out to
We
like
haven't.
180 since they're already in the clearly Kccrvc? Or
We did not. We asked Research because they have been working with our Live Well in the Moment site since it was in its existence. We have a good partnership with them. The reason I'm afraid if we get another quote from someone else, the price will double, if not triple, to completely redo a site. What they're doing is just really changing branding, colors. They're not updating we have 200 plus pages, 300 plus pages on this website because of all the listings for all of our attractions and things. We're afraid if we went that route, it would change it would be such a larger expense. It would be completely redoing a website. So that's why we did not. That was more of just an update, a refresh of its current, and there is a mock-up in there what the homepage is versus what ours looks like currently. And it's a mesh of both those sites. We did not. I'm happy to do that if you feel that that would be a need.
well, and I understand that,
Yeah.
with new websites a lot
No, you're
more.
right.
But I would just caution to that price, because that price, when I went and asked a couple of industry experts in the area, they even said that that cost is really high. So I would just really caution that.
Okay.
To maybe talk with them and say, look, this,
Is there a way to negotiate
Can you
that?
sharpen your pencil?
Yeah, okay.
Well, and I completely agree with that. They've developed it. If we're
Yeah,
talking
I mean,
changing colors and fonts.
we
for
thought it was a
14
large
grand,
expense
It's
as
a
well.
push a button, here we go. I don't pretend to be a web developer, but
No,
if
you're not
they've
wrong.
got the templates there, 14,000 just seems a bit extreme. And we've already paid to have the whole thing.
You did it, I don't know how many
Develop,
years ago.
right.
How long the
Right.
brand has been, or what, 5, 6 years ago, I think.
It's
It was
been a while.
It's been a while. But no, we thought it was a high expense. I can go back and ask if they're willing to work with that a little bit more because it's not a full redo of the site. It is just they refer it as a refresh or reskin with the branding colors to appropriate with the Kccrvc brand colors. So I'm happy to go back and ask.
So just to clarify, long-term, the change in branding is going to be clearly Kccrvc, Live Well in the Moment is going away.
But we
So-
won't be DBA'd that. It'll still be the Kccrvc County Convention and Visitors Bureau. I know
Sure.
that was a question we did receive. It will not. We'll still be that. That is just the brand we're taking over since the brands are so identical. So when we're out and about talking about Kccrvc, talking about the Convention and Visitors Bureau, there gets some little bit of confusion of how they are different. Are they the same? Kccrvc sometimes gets a little mixed up when we're trying to share what that means. So we feel like bringing it underneath our umbrella completely and taking that brand over completely instead of co-branding would be the best way to move that forward. We know this brand has been so well done since its existence. We want to just make sure that it continues on and is part of those ongoing projects and things for the county and still be a countywide brand. So if anybody still wants to co-brand with it, we want that to continue. We're just taking it on as our full brand instead of the co-brand.
So if we realize and need to go back and ask them to, hey, sharpen your pencil, whatever, if we reduce the grant by an appropriate $5,000 less,
Yeah.
something like that, is that going to impact your ability to implement? Or no, can you cover that cost if you
Well,
need to?
well, as you kindly increased our budget for 2024, we believe that we'll be able to make that work if that happens. Especially because that just goes right to marketing.
Sure. So I would defer to our two web experts on
Yeah.
looking at what that cost is, maybe reduce by that amount. I get hey, we've got to pay
And I
for
can see if I can negotiate that with
the other
them.
pieces, absolutely, because then it's in your benefit to negotiate,
Yeah.
save those dollars.
No,
for-
you're completely
for
right. We
other
thought it was a
places
little, we thought
as
it was a
well.
little high as well.
Yeah. So, everybody good with where we're at? If you guys, somebody, maybe come up with a number, I threw 5 out, I have no idea,
It
but,
seems like reasonable, 25,000.
okay. So, somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for 25.
Okay, so do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a second. Any other discussion? All in favor of approval of 25,000 for this grant request?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Any
you.
opposed? Grant's approved. Thank you.
I very appreciate this. As you know, we're Kccrvc's brand is very close to the Convention and Visitors Bureau's heart, as well as yours and the county. So thank you for this opportunity to invigorate it. So
Yep,
thank you.
thanks. Oh, Corey, did you want to do your update while you're up here? May as well, you're on the docket.
First and foremost, what I'm passing out, we have our Surtech Tourism Economic Impact Report. So this is for the tourism commission. We just received these last week, but I need all of you have a copy.
Thank you.
I hope you will find, one second. We did well. Just saying, the tourism impact has improved. Thank you. And I will, can I put this in Catherine's pocket, or should I go? That's fine. Okay. All right. All right, well, good morning again. I wanted to quickly introduce, I do have two board members with us today. We have Stephanie Schaefer. She represents the Warsaw Parks and Recreation Department, and Tracy Nichols. She represents Creighton Brothers, as well as the Roo. So we're so thankful to have them both with us just this morning. So a quick little update on some travel trends. According to destination analysts, we know looming inflation with some gas prices have kind of, spend for leisure travel has declined slightly from 46,000 earlier this year to about 3,500, which was the lowest in 2021, which we all are kind of feeling that a little bit. However, we have noticed that leisure trips are at a higher rate, and those day trips and overnights as well. Not sure if you're seeing that there, but according to them, a year ago, more people are taking leisure trips and overnight trips than they were in the prior year. So that's really a great increase. We're kind of seeing those day trippers at the visitor center, especially with some great events that we've hosted. Lake City Skiers' national tournament was great, and they had their all-star event last weekend as well. So we know that was their last big show for the year. So yes, we're continuing to see that. Leisure trips increasing to about 54% compared to trips in 2022. Despite some of these trends when it comes to gas prices, still looming around that $3.50, people are still excited to travel more than ever before. We have about 83% of those American travelers are planning a trip within the next 12 months. And we do continue to be positioned well to attract these visitors, especially leisure. As you do know, when a group meeting wants to come to Kccrvc County, we do help them. So last week we hosted a motor coach mystery tour for a day. So they were very excited. So we had about 42 people in the visitor center visiting Kate County last week. So we're really excited to see that. I do have our occupancy report. Just a moment. So according to, I'm passing out our STR. So you can see how occupancy has been. I know we are still trending down from our previous 2022, and that's kind of reflective, I'm guessing, in our report stats. We know that home shares have been seeming to do pretty well still. So, and we're very similar in occupancy to our friends in Elkhart County. I don't know what is happening. I don't know, Jessica, if you have any thoughts. A lot of our events are the same. A lot of our meetings are the same. I'm not sure if they're choosing. I do know some of our orthopedics that really do that meetings during the week has kind of decreased with them maybe not coming and staying overnight as much as they had in the past. Not sure if that is affecting some of these numbers.
I know Zimmer, I've heard they're meeting in Fort Wayne instead now. But yeah, it's a lot of our, at least for me, it's been business.
It's been the business. We've noticed that it's been the business travel that seems to be affecting some of our occupancy. Not those weekend visitors. It's the meeting space. And we know orthopedics is major to our community, so we'll be, I
They've
think
been
there's
the
a
biggest
conversation.
one.
Yes, there may be a conversation to see how we can possibly be more accommodating if necessary, if they can stay with us versus a community to the east.
I'm gonna guess it's virtual is
Well, and that's probably
replacing it.
hybriding it too, or they're
Right.
not being, if they're coming in to our airport, they're coming out the same day.
Right.
Not sure if they're staying, and Zimmer has the Z, so I'm not sure how often, if
I
they're using
know
them.
Their hotel wasn't getting utilized very much. A lot of it is because every company had to learn how to go virtual. And let's be honest, that's a lot more convenient.
It
Right.
is,
And
yeah.
it's
Yeah, less
just kind of
expensive.
stuck. So we had guys that would come, they'd stay Monday through Friday. We no longer have them because it's just not needed to do that.
Yeah, because you can log in hybrid like.
Yeah.
So we will continue to market and see where we need to see if we can grab those leisure travelers more and see what we may need to do in 2024 to update those meetings or find new meetings. And I know orthopedics is huge for us, but there's other options for us too. So I'll pass that out for you guys. We're still collecting sport data for our sports and events calculator. As always, we encourage any grantors that would like to know what their economic impact is for that. Please send them our way. We can easily get that done to you within a day. So it's pretty impactful to know what all those events are. We hosted a hotelier meeting last month. We had a majority of our hotels were able to join us. We're continuing to do those, update them on what's happening in the area. If they have any issues, we're helping to help them with that. Meet some of the new GMs and sales representatives. We are still on track for our 2024 visitor guide. For arrival for 2024, it will be branded Kccrvc fully. That's what the look is going to be. Our passports are still doing really well. More and more people locally as visitors are redeeming prizes as well. Currently, our most checked-in location is the Public Art Trail. Not sure if it's the ease of them or the amount of them, but that's currently one of our most popular checked-in locations. I didn't know if you had any questions about the financial reports. We're sitting well. We're trying to be as conservative as we can in our market, hosting more digital, trying to do, if we do print, have that digital component. So our team as well, I'm not sure if I shared with it, we did hire a part-time person to help us. So we're a 3.5 team. His name is Mateus. He is a Grace College graduate in digital marketing. He's assisting Laura, our marketing communications manager, and he's been a nice joy and addition. So he's with us about 24 hours a week. So we're happy, especially when our visitor center sign goes up. There's going to be some new duties there. So that is my quick report.
All right, any questions? All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Well, I'll share, we did receive a thank you card. Wait a minute. It's here in my hand. Can I read it? It is on behalf of the Tour de Lakes Organizing Committee and the Syracuse-Wabasee Rotary Club. We thank you for your support of this year's ride. We appreciate your sponsoring such a great event for our community. We look forward to the ride in 2024. So that was a thank you there. Rhonda brought up a couple of claims that we're approving. So for the Whitehall project, remember these are reimbursement grants, so they've spent it. They send the receipts in, Rhonda audits them, make sure they're all legit, and then sends them to us to approve. And we do require 2 signatures on these. Right now it's Kathy and I sign them. So, excuse me, the president, vice president sign them. So Whitehall is $11,863. And then the KEDCO feasibility study, they've submitted $18,000. So again, we're approving those claims for payment. Pretty light agenda, John, but I guess that means it's up to you. So financials, grant sheet,
Okay.
worksheet, all that
I
stuff.
think you all received them in the packet. Just to bring you up to date on what we've collected so far. We've collected 503,000, and a year ago we were 567, so we're still that
We're reflecting.
$60,000
Yeah.
shortage going on there, and most of it has to do with the innkeeper's tax more than the home share. That's gone down from 82 to 64, so Jessica, you're probably right. They're just not staying, huh?
No.
No.
As wonderful as technology is, I'm not happy with it at the moment, because it's
Yeah.
killing me. So, yeah, it's taking a toll on the
Okay.
market.
Well, it is what it is then. So-
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
guess
Getting
we can't
outside
do
the
much
box.
There's
about it.
nothing we can do about it,
Yeah,
just
we
let's
just-
try to plan for it as
Yeah.
far as receipts go.
That's right. That's the only thing we can do. And I think all of our receipts are, hotels are up to date. There's one up, Zimmer up to date yet, or maybe they're not renting it out?
I believe they are.
Because that was June, what I'm showing is the last,
Yeah, I'll get to it, thank you.
so we might check them.
Yeah, I did look at that.
Oh, that's fine.
Spreadsheet of the
Yeah.
item collection.
Okay. We started the year with what, 1.1 million, we've collected 537, we spent 606, so we're still around $1 million, but we
We
spent,
just took
we
200 of
just
that
spent
out.
200,000 a day, and we
Yep.
still, I think, owe another quarterly to the Visitors
That'll
Bureau.
come up, yeah,
That's coming up,
Yeah.
so we got money, but
Yeah.
we don't have what it's showing there, so.
right.
That's about it on the.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion or any questions on the treasurer's report? Make a motion? Somebody?
I'll make the motion.
All right, we got a second?
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. As Lyle pointed out to me, the approval of the July 12th minutes. I had zipped by that. Everybody had a chance to review them. I wasn't here, so I can't make any discussion. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
All right, Jessica's made it a second.
I'll second.
Lyle seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I did want to mention, I had to, and for the first time in all the years of being here, even having been president in the past, we met with the county council to get our budget presented to them, so we presented our budget. They had a few questions. The increase to the CVB was key. I think I explained what was there. They're happy with what we're doing. They're happy for the communication between the CVB and us. It's not adversarial. It's work together to do what's best for the county. So I just, they're carrying that forward. Years ago, we changed our process, and it's tough to write a budget in May for next year when you have no clue where you're going. These reductions that we're seeing in the hoteliers tax is going to impact us going forward. We've presented what we have. We do have reserves. I explained that. That's the reason we keep reserves, is if there's fluctuation, we can be there. Totally understanding of that, but we need to keep that in mind going forward. The other thing I would say, as John brought up before the meeting, as far as grants that are due, if they're granted in '22, they need to make their request for reimbursement by the end of '23, or the funds stay in our account. That's something we put in place so it doesn't hang out there forever. So if anyone's here from an organization that did a grant request that was approved in '22, you're quickly approaching the end of '23. It's amazing to submit for reimbursement for those things. So we've approved those additional funds for the November meeting, to where hopefully we'll get some grant requests going forward. But that's all I have, unless anybody else has any questions, concerns, things they want to bring up.
Speaking on the topic that you just
Sure.
were discussing, if we look through your grant spreadsheet, we have a couple grants that were given to the Lilly Center, and they're tied in with the Clearly Kosciuszko, some of those. So I think there's two of those that we need to do some research on, and maybe either set those aside or reassign them to where
Okay.
they need to be. The one was granted in November of '22, and it was for Lilly Center operational support,
Okay.
and that was for $500. And the other one was in November of '21, so it is really technically expired. However, it hasn't been removed from the roll yet. But it was for it was earmarked clearly Kosciuszko, and there's $2,224.91 remaining in that grant. We also have one that was granted to Pierceton Chamber of Commerce for general advertising for $2,000, and that was in March of '22. We have reached out to them several times with no response, so I would suggest that you maintain an idea of maybe removing that from the roll, putting it back into, which we can take care of that if you guys just make a motion. I would suggest on those other ones for the Lily and the Clearly Kosciuszko that we do a little bit of investigation on what those really were for.
Okay.
And if they were, since the two are now merging together, we need to figure out if they just need to be set aside or if we need to reassign them so they can be used.
Is it possible that the CBB request that, because we have been using marketing funds for?
Come up here. Come up here and talk.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Is it since, what is that?
So this is.
22,
Yeah.
if it's possible, because it looks like are we past the date?
Well,
that
you
they-
are,
Okay.
but some of these other ones are too. That's why we're just trying to get this
So-
cleaned up.
Is it possible for us to request, since we took over management and we have been paying for some of that?
I think we need to get additional information on what they're
From-
for.
Right.
The operating funds for Center for Lakes
Yes,
and
and I'll
Streams,
do
that
the
to me would be a-
research. I'll do the research on and pull the actual grant applications for those two that
Yeah.
were,
And if we could
approved.
talk about that in November, I really don't want to
Yes.
just off the hip, okay,
Yes.
yeah, we'll transfer
sorry.
it.
Yes, yes.
So,
No,
yeah.
but no, we need
Yeah.
to have some conversation.
No, I appreciate that. 'cause-
Could you get something showing like what you have taken over and what you've started funding for
Yes,
Lily?
we have been tracking.
Yeah,
what
'cause
we've
that
been
would make
paying for.
sense, 'cause we can
If that
compare
helps,
that.
it's probably gonna exceed this slightly. However, yes, we can show what we've been, because we're managing both.
Right.
And we took over some of that cost that is with it.
Right.
So if there is a little bit way to reimburse that back would be great, if possible, to double check with what that was for.
And I would be
I'm guessing it was
interested to
operating.
see how you're applying the cost when you've got salaries. Unless you're paying it out of pocket, you're already paying the salaries. I don't see how you split, you know what I mean?
Well,
That's
this
just me
was-
being a boss. I
This
can't
is,
help it.
for us, we're just doing marketing related to Clearly Cut.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what that was for Clearly
Right.
Kosciuszko.
That's why it's important we know
Yes,
what
but this is
we're
like the
going for.
website management with 180 digital costs on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Any marketing that we've paid for Clearly Kosciuszko, that's not associated with the Convention and Visitors
Okay.
Bureau. No, it has nothing to do with our salaries or
Okay.
anything. So I'm not sure what it was for.
Yeah, let's see what they're for. If we could get that for the November meeting and that be an agenda item.
Right.
For us to review, why don't we put just in general, a review of grants in '22 that have not been,
I agree.
Right.
reimbursed, requested to be reimbursed, and then we'll talk about those. And obviously, we can't clear them in November, but we can, January, when we turn around, we can say they're gone if we know
Right. I
exactly
just,
what they are.
I just know that sometimes, they stay on a little bit longer than what they are supposed to, but we
Yeah.
just want to try to get them cleared up. That
I'm
way
with
we
you.
know exactly where your funding is and
The
everything.
rules are the rules.
Yes.
December 31st of '23, if it's not
Right.
requested, it's gone.
Right.
That's
Right.
the way it needs to be.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn. We are adjourned. Thanks. That's what I didn't understand. Right, right. I know, that's what I was thinking when she was talking. I'm like, we took that
Like
out.
this one isn't, but this one's.
Right, and I think that's more in line with where she was talking about. So.
I figured everybody saw that.
Yeah, technically, that should have been going there. So, yeah, we're not granting the money unless you can show me you spent that specifically. It's just bad.
Yeah, especially when it hasn't been a conversation at all, like when you took this over, and it's just like, oh, there's extra money, let's just grab it. Okay.
Oh, is that what?
I was gonna
You're welcome.
That's all for that.
Definitely better than it was.
Okay.
He's got it.